Hey guys, I'm Michael, and my wife and I go by K&M Resell on YouTube, and we both resell full-time men's clothing on eBay from thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, things like that. And on Mondays, we post a what sold video over the previous week's sales. This week was a normal week of sales, just average numbers, and can't complain really with anything. And we started listing some ties so last week, and there's a lot of cool ties that sold this past week. So a couple of those have been thrown in this one, as well as just some shoes and some clothes and the normal stuff. So as usual, go over the numbers for the week and then get right into what sold. All right, so going over the numbers of last week's sales, we ended up selling 188 items for an average sale price of $33.26, and the total gross sales for last week was $6,253. And then we had to take out our sales tax that eBay collected of $370, and they redistribute it to the states that the buyers pay, and then minus the shipping cost of $1,048, and then the final value fees of $814, and then minus our promoted listing fees, which we promote at 10% across the board, and that was a cost of $389. And then our cost of goods, which is just an average for the store. Sometimes it's a few $100s more, sometimes it's a few $100s less for the week, but our average cost is typically around $7.25, and that ended up being $1,363 roughly. So our profit for the week last week was $2,267. So let's get right into these items that sold. All right, so to start us off, we ended up selling for the most money out of the week this Italo Ferretti tie, I think you pronounce it. This ended up coming from the bulk buyout from one of the viewers who ended up selling us, I believe it was 60 ties to 70 ties for like $600. And I made a video over the unboxing for that if you want to go check it out. It was one of our first few videos that we made. But anyways, this tie, as well as some of the ties that we got from that deal, have sold throughout this week since we just started listing them. This brand is the first time I've ever sold this brand, but it ended up doing really well. And so I'm going to be on the lookout for this going forward because it sold within a week, just a few days after posting it. And I listed it on the higher side because the pattern was a lot more unique than the other ties that were out there, and it sold really quickly. So ran a 10% sale this week. I think we started on Wednesday and it ran until Sunday night. So a lot of these items are going to be already 10% off of the sale price. But yeah, still sold for $90 plus shipping, the ask price, total of $97. So next item was this Magnani pair of boots. Ended up getting these at the first time, I think, ever really going to the bins and trying to sit there for a while and find some stuff. So found these about 30 minutes after being at the bins, paid $5 for these boots. They didn't have laces and the leather was pretty worn in some areas, but the Magnani is a really, high-end designer brand. I'm sure these were probably about $300 to $500 new. And the sold comps for wingtip, like ankle boots for Magnani, were on the higher side, the low side being, $70, but most of them that were in good condition were over $100. So took a shot on them even in this condition for $5. You can't not take a shot on that, with the sell-through rate also being pretty good. And they ended up selling for a best offer of $75 plus shipping, which I am more than happy with. So, and the buyer already left a positive feedback, and so they worked out great. Next is this pair of True Religion jeans. We just picked these up a couple weeks ago at a new thrift store we had never been to. I don't even know the name of it, but we tried out this new thrift store and it wasn't super great, but they did have this come out on one of the new racks. And so True Religion jeans I usually don't mess with, but I guess I just decided to buy them this day. So I looked up comps, sell-through rate was 100% on this size and the red color and stuff. So ended up picking them up, and yeah, I think I paid around $6 to $7 for these, and they sold for a best offer of $35 plus shipping. Next is this Masters Tech Polo. I listed this on the higher side, and it still sold within like 3 hours of listing it. So I was super surprised by that. Just listed this yesterday, and it sold last night. And so again, this is listed on the higher side. There were sold comps in the 30s and 40s, new with tags, I believe. And I listed it at the highest sold comp there was, which was $60. And it still sold for, I believe, it sold for a best offer of $56.99. Maybe the 10% off sale was on, but I don't see it over here. So I think I sent out offers and it got accepted. So $56.99 plus shipping. All of our items are the sale price, and then buyer pays shipping in case you are new here. So Great sale. Don't buy or I don't recommend, do what you want, but I don't recommend buying the Cotton Masters stuff anymore. It's sort of fallen off, but the Masters Tech stuff does well for us. So be on the lookout for that, and make sure you are comping out your stuff. Just because we say to buy something doesn't mean you should always buy it. Just if we say something, look it up, do your own research, and see if it's an item or a brand that would work well in your store. This next item is a pair of women's Viore pants. Viore is a great brand. If you don't know this brand, I sure hope you learn it now, or you already do know it, because it is replacing Lululemon whenever it comes to how good it sells. Lululemon a year or two ago was super hot to sell. It still is pretty good with certain models, but Viore across the board has been really good to us. So find it almost once a week now, luckily, here in Dallas. And yeah, I mean, it's just a great brand across the board. Their polos, their t-shirts, their pants, jackets, everything seems to do super well. This next item, speaking of Lululemon, the ABC pants we sell a lot of. They are kind of expensive here in Dallas to pick up. Typically, you pay around 20 bucks or more. But if they sell for 50 bucks plus shipping like this one did, I don't mind paying that. Unless you get lucky and you're at a Goodwill and they end up in Goodwills, then that's the only place you can really buy them for $10 or less. Anyways, found these probably, just found these a couple weeks ago. Sold in a couple weeks, and they had a couple flaws, so I had to decrease the price from our usual $60 ask price to $50. And so yeah, great sale. Love finding Lululemon stuff, and it's pretty common to find. Hard to spot out sometimes, but you learn it as time goes on. Next one is this Ralph Lauren, really cool button-down Hawaiian style shirt. I believe it's a camp shirt. Yeah, it's a camp shirt, so it's got the little loop there. So Hawaiian style shirt. Really colorful. I thought this was gonna sell quicker than it did. It took 5 months to sell, but I guess I just priced it way too high, which I would expect of myself because this is a really cool shirt. So priced it probably too high and took a while for it to sell. Ended up selling for the ask price of $47.96 plus shipping. But again, cool Ralph Lauren stuff seems to do well for us. I saw a few sold comps on these whenever I bought it, but I just would never leave something that looks like this at the thrift store, even if it sells for, 25, 30 bucks, obviously. But super cool item. I love finding stuff like that. Next is this Pendleton Western wear flannel. So I think this is a pearl snap. Yeah, pearl snap. Really cool item. Pendleton is still doing pretty well. It's gone down a little bit in value over the past couple of years, but this one was one of the higher dollar ones that we have sold in the past for shirts. A lot of them nowadays we're getting 35 to 44, but this one we ended up getting the full ask price of $48.88, and I believe, yeah, we listed this a few weeks ago. So quick sale and really good ask price. I did list this on the medium to higher side, so really good sale. Pendleton, I think everyone knows it, so I'm gonna sort of go to the next one. Next one, this is a new brand to me. It's the only time I found it. I found it a while back, and it was this really messed up vest. I think it was pretty flawed. Yeah, it had a lot of little flaws going on, but I think it was like $2.99 at the thrift store I bought it from, and I just took a shot on it, and so it took a long time to sell. Again, like that Ralph Lauren, took about 6 months to sell, but I think the brand is called Chauffel. I think that's how you pronounce it, Chauffel, but don't know anything about this brand. All I know is that this item, average sale price wise, was super high, and the sell through rate was good. So even with all these flaws, I took a shot on it, and finally it ended up selling. All right, another tie we've got the Brioni tie. I believe this one was not from the wholesale deal. I think I found this in the thrift store, but I could be mistaken. I found a few Brioni ties over the past month in the thrift store. I believe this was one of them, but Brioni is a really good brand. We've sold a lot of their stuff in all the categories of men's clothing, but we find the most of it in ties. So probably found 10 to 20 Brioni ties over the past year or two, and they seem to always do really well for us. So this one ended up selling within a week for the ask price, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, $53.99 plus shipping. Well, I guess it was free shipping. I forgot we do free shipping on ties. So ties, we do free shipping since they're so cheap and light to ship. But this ended up selling for about a week, or in about a week. And I believe someone actually just bought another Brioni tie as I was sitting here making this video. So yeah, really good on their ties. They seem to do really well, and I recommend checking them out and seeing if you think they are good as well. Next is this pair of Lululemon shorts. These are women's. So my wife likes to look at the women's section here and there while I'm checking out and stuff. And every once in a while, she'll find some really good women's items. So she ended up finding these Lululemon shorts. No clue what we paid for them. So they did sell for $45 plus shipping. And honestly, I don't know what makes them so expensive because most Lululemon shorts, I'd assume the only thing is like all the Lulu logos being over them, or just maybe it's a certain style. But most Lululemon shorts that are women's will not sell for this price unless I guess they're unique like this. For the most part, they sell for, 15, 20 bucks plus shipping, as the brand has gone down quite a bit, especially in the women's category. There's just so much of it. So these, I don't really know what to say about them. She knows this category way better than I do. I'm mostly a men's seller, but she's starting to do women's clothing on Poshmark and stuff. So definitely check out this Hottie Hot Short 2 pair of shorts and see if you think they're good as well. Next is this Ralph Lauren rugby style long sleeve pullover, or polo. It's got the elbow patches. It's got the big pony, so all these things in the rugby style with this quilted look and all that. So all those things led to us purchasing this item. Did not look it up till we got home. Ended up being worth a lot more than we thought. We were thinking 30 bucks plus shipping, but it ended up selling for $43.99 plus shipping. So really good sale there. And if you're wondering why this is more bluish than this, whenever I uploaded this photo, it was like pitch black where you couldn't see the elbow patches or any of these little details. So I filtered the photo slightly with the eBay automatic filter thing to where you could actually see this, even though it's not the true color. The true color is in the rest of the photos, so I'm not worried about that. But I wanted the buyers to be able to see the elbow patches and see all this stuff in the first picture. Next item is this FootJoy tour issued polo. I got 4 of these for, $3 to $5, I think. And I think this is the last one that I had to sell. The other one sold for about this price. This one sold for $40 plus shipping. One of them was new with tags. I sold that one in a recent video for, I believe, $60 or $70. And then the other 2 sold for about $35 to $40. So, I guess the other one sold for, yeah, that's right. The other 2 sold for about $35 to $40. And then this one sold for $40. So got all these out within the month. Really cool item. The tour issued, I was able to find the exact player based off of the sponsorship logos that were on the item. And so put his name in the title, and it ended up selling really quickly. So next item is this. Oh, by the way, FootJoy, typically not a good brand. So we usually pass on it most of the time. 90% of the time we have to pass on it. But this being tour issued and being able to verify that made it to where I wanted to buy it. So next is this pair of Cole Haan shoes. These were really cool. You never really see Cole Haan shoes that are this crazy looking with the digital camo, I would call it almost. But anyways, wingtipped. That's the only reason why I bought these was because of the craziness of the colors. There was, I believe, I want to say there was none listed and 1 sold. That's what I think I remember. I comped these out a couple weeks ago, and they sold in a couple weeks, but I think there is none listed and 1 sold, and these ended up selling for $34.99 plus shipping. So took a best offer of $1 off. Thank you, buyer, who offered me $1 off. So yeah, anyways, Cole Haan stuff. We buy a lot of shoes that are Cole Haan, but you got to look up this model number that's in here, the C12508. Look up that number every single time because a lot of their shoes don't go for any money, but there's a few pairs that do really well. And they're in almost every one of our videos, so we sell them quite often. This item I priced way too high 6-7 months ago, going into winter. So priced it high and have been decreasing the price over time. And it ended up selling for $40 plus shipping, so best offer. But I ended up doing a buyout on Facebook Marketplace. Some guy who worked at a country club, and he had, I don't know, I think it was 110 golf things. A lot of it was Grayson, a lot of it was Peter Millar. And so paid him, I think, $1,000 for everything. And this is one of the few items that I have left from him. So I don't know. This is a cool shirt, though. I wish this was in my size. I would have kept it. But yeah, so Grayson's a great golf brand. It's starting to go down a little bit in value. They've been doing a lot of sales and stuff where they mark their stuff half off. and stuff. Like, it's now in TJ Maxx Home Goods here in Dallas, as well as there's a lot of golf brands now in TJ Maxx Home Goods. You got G4 there, Peter Millar, FootJoy, Grayson. I've even found I have a Roback quarter zip that was in a Home Goods here in Dallas. So a lot of these golf brands are moving their stuff in there, which is decreasing the use price of these items, but they still sell pretty well, especially these crazy printed ones. So it seems to be the new talk of the golf community is, buying all these crazy cool patterns. But anyways, moving on. That's the last item. Sorry that we did not get a video out last Thursday or Wednesday like I had promised on last Monday's video. We just had family in town. My wife's dad was in town, and we got super busy, and we just didn't have enough time to do it. So had a lot of fun though, and we're going to try to get another video out this week, as now we don't have family to deal with or anything like that. So we will try to get one out Wednesday or Thursday. We got to figure out what we're going to do. And then, yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you guys like videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your favorite item out of the what sold today in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video.